Hello and welcome to Stage Matters, the podcast that gets right into the heart of what happens when artists take the stage. I'm your host, Arvind Murli, and it's great to have you with me. On this podcast, we are cutting through the noise to understand the true essence of what makes a performance soar, what challenges performers face, and how they consistently deliver those transcendent moments. I'll be chatting with amazing artists and performers, from seasoned veterans to rising stars, to hear their stories directly. We'll discuss the highs, the lows, the techniques, and the mindset that defines their approach to performance. If you ever wondered what it truly feels like to command a stage, or what goes into those breathtaking artistic moments, you're in the right place. Let's pull back the curtain and dive into Stage Matters. Hello Tenma, welcome to Stage Matters. Thank you.
Hi, thank you for having me here.
So how did this whole thing begin for you? Can you take me through your early years of getting on stage and even your influences, and what did you see?
So I think I come from some, I would say a church choir family.
Okay.
So and there was music in my house.
Okay.
But they were not technically musicians. They're not choir as in like, they were like divided like that. It was a church choir, not a regular church choir. But there were some musicians, some guitar players, and our family was closely associated. I grew up in Pursavakkam. So there were a lot of Anglo-Indian musicians and Tamil musicians who are also
So are you connected with Jim's family in any way?
No. I'm probably like the Davids, Randy, Judy, these are score writers.
No.
But John Satya used to live near our house at one point.
Okay.
I did take some classes from him when I was in my early, I was 19 or something.
Okay.
But we were in one, this Judy, Randy, Rosner, George, David. They were like David family.
Okay.
They were playing strings for the string musicians for Raja.
Oh, okay.
So they used to play in our church.
Okay.
And apart from that, we had a big load of great Anglo-Indian musicians. And I think the church was also filled with some sort of a good band.
Okay.
There weren't drums. I mean, very rarely we'll have drums, but usually it'll be the beats from the PSR.
Okay.
And the keyboard. Definitely guitars were there.
Okay.
Amp distortion. And there were always a bass player.
Okay.
Some bass player used to exist. And that one, and because there were a lot of Anglo-Indian women also, I was part of the youth group. So we used to go to Shiraz for that Anglo-Indian bash for Christmas and everything.
Okay.
So that's when Johnson, bass player, Johnson used to play. Pretty good. His daughter was a friend of ours. I mean, she was also part of the youth group.
Okay.
So, I was sort of in that environment.
Okay.
And I used to sing very early on with family as it is. But I would say I wanted to play an instrument, but we couldn't afford it. My sister wanted to learn, so we couldn't afford it at that time. We come from a little bit of a family without any means. So I decided, at one point I saw this music director, who's now a music director, this musician. He was talking about chords, and what was chords that time, but I was like, first time hearing all the G minor, A minor, all of those things. I was like, what are those? So I was very fascinated by that, and there was a guy, his name was Fen. He changed his name now to whatever, okay.
Yeah.
Then another guy called Ashley, so both of them used to play, and we were part of the scouts thing, so I used to get fascinated by that, and I said, okay, I want to learn. Told my mom, but at that point we got a little bit, money became a little bit better. My sister took me to found some music classes in Pursavakkam, and for some weird reason I started learning classical guitar at I think the end of 10th standard.
Okay.
This is all after years of singing, finally classical guitar. And then after that I started I was playing classical, I was reading music and all those things, and I had a really good friend who's no more, but like he got the, this farewell, school farewell, and all the 11th standard boys have to play the 12th standard. So I started in Don Bosco. We had all those things. He called me to play for the band, but he said, do you want to sing? Because he knows me from when I was a kid. He's like, do you want to sing or do you want to play bass? You won't believe it. I didn't actually know at that point what the bass was. The job of a bass was. For me, it was like, okay, some guitar. It's like bass guitar. Hey, bass guitar vasi guitar. I was like, yeah, okay, cool. And I practiced the entire thing on acoustic guitar, and the first time it was a Dimalo's white Yamaha bass.
Okay.
You're a bass player, you must have gone through that Yamaha bass. So that Yamaha bass, and when I got it, was like everything was huge compared to an acoustic guitar. So and I had another bass player friend. He showed me this is how you slide. So I was after I knew how to slide, I was like, okay, the sliding, this just playing one note and just grooving. Suddenly got my thing going after the farewell, and I said, okay, fine, let's do this. And things started from there. It was actually, music became an escapism. This sort of, I started enjoying playing with these sort of musicians, and it was a good place. So that's where it all started. The youth group, the school, that's where all of these things started.
So how has your understanding of performance and the act of performing evolved over from then on to now? Now you have been leading big bands, and
I guess performance from before till now, I think the culture has become deteriorated of performance now. But I guess I was around very good musicians. So in fact, there was one funeral which I was playing for. I was playing with the Davids, and this was like 1 year into playing bass. Or 1 year or less than a year. 1 year into playing bass, and it was my grandmom's funeral. Everything was very complicated because they were never. It was never just the route or just following the chords. It was harmonically separated so much. So when I realized that was a day I realized, okay, this game is something else. It was not just me trying to be all grooving and sliding. The game was something else, and that was a turning point. And I think in between that the college also started. I mean, not in between that, I guess year and a half later, from college started, and I got back with a bunch of friends. I mean, not got back, one friend who was off-row, my school friend. So he was not in Don Bosco that time. He was in Union Christian for 9th to 12th. So I'm meeting him after years, and we're getting into this band situation. And they all come from a little bit of he comes from a musician family. And I could see the way they were responding to music, and everything was very different. So I thought, okay, I think I need to do a little better. And what I realized was, it was also, I was soaked in so much jazz and classical music at very 16, 17. I didn't know rock music. And my family, it was either rock, jazz, Dave Brubeck and Dizzy Gillespie type thing, which I knew only Dave Brubeck. That was every weekend we used to jam with the band when I was 16, 17. So, and we were jamming, the culture was totally different. And when I got to college, it was all rock music and funk and my guitarist at that time, Nipun, also was, he was quite, very early on, he used to play really fast and everything. So I was a little mesmerized by all of those things and them knowing all of these things. And after we played on stage, that's when I realized, okay, the performance is a different game. I saw the whole performance changing with playing with the really senior musicians who are at least 45, 50 years older than me. And then I'm seeing with my peers. And I wanted to be somewhere in between because they were very strict. There's that proverb, no, like a child among men will soon be a man. That sort of a thing. Because working with senior musicians very early on, it's a totally different game. With this, there was more fun. There was also, it's like teenage and the rock scene. There's too much alcohol, drugs, women, all of those things were like that sort of life was the environment which was I was getting introduced to. And I could see a little bit of like, okay, we need to think of this in a very different way. And we started winning some competitions, and that's when I got exposed to other bands.
Okay.
And at that point, I saw another bass player called Venkat Subramaniam, who plays bass for Sanam.
Okay.
So he's been a friend from that period of time. I think we're friends for 17, 18.
Okay.
I've known him now almost 38. And his influence, he sort of gave me a lot of music influence and everything. And I could see, because of playing for lots of these competitions at that time in college, like NLS and Deep Woods and all those things. And you see all of these bands, they were really good. And at that time, in that 1 to 2 years, I was exposed to, in college, Chennai was known for great bass players, right from Carl, Keith, and everybody. There was an abundance of bass players. There was Kitta, Jitesh, and there's a lot of great bass players and different styles. There's even a great metal bass player called Munib. And who had a unique sound to themselves. And there were a lot of great guitarists and everything. And it was a very healthy, but also slightly toxic, but little healthy system where everybody was competing with each other. So performance-wise, everybody had to get better before the next Unwind gig. So there's too much male testosterone-driven competitive scene. And because there was betrayal also, people pay for our bands, they'll just quit and go to the next band.
Okay.
And then they'll be like, oh no, that guy sucks, this guy sucks, you're a bad bass player, you don't know how to slap. All of that sort of very toxic environment, in retrospect to think about it. But it was the ground in which I sort of grew up in. So, and then after that, going through all of these years of playing with so many bands, working and I had a good experience in London, playing and working with a lot of people. Okay. I was studying there. I was also working with a lot
study music or?
Music production, sound engineering, and then that environment sort of got me into a different state of mind.
Okay.
And I think at that point I realized what sort of musician I wanted to be. And after that, for some reason, not some reason, very early on I wanted to be a composer and a music producer, composer. So, but it's just that bass playing was just the instrument of composition, I would say. But I was getting influenced by people like Sly Stone, Prince, David Bowie.
So you're a very funk-based.
No, actually, definitely funk is part of the repertoire. But the ideas in which they were, I was getting influenced by the way they talk.
You mean the political nature?
Political nature, and it influenced from where I came from. So it was, and Larry Graham's tutorial video, right? You must have seen it. That actually has a lot of politics.
Yeah.
It's too subliminal. Yeah. He makes the entire thing so much fun. But I was like, why am I getting affected by this? But beyond this, just learning those slapping and everything. And that started contributing to what I was doing and what I was making. And after a point, I just didn't want to be in the studio, but money, studios where we could make some sort of a living with it, and we could be called a serious musician or a working musician. Otherwise, you're not considered anything. Right? This is all like a hobby. So at that point, I started a studio and all of those things. But then situations one after the other came in where I realized great musicians were doing other things. Started finding their own life. In
what sense?
I mean, I think they got like a job.
Okay, that way. Okay. Left music and
they were doing music, but very part-time musicians.
Found a
IT job, or teaching,
means of making a living.
Means of making a living. So, so there were not many. I think at that point bands were dying in Chennai. Like one after the other, bands were dying, and lots of people went abroad also. And there was one period of MI being very famous, right? Musicians Institute, and suddenly everybody just went off. They went to MI and just quit music, like learned for a year and
how to pay back the loan.
How to pay back the loan. So I think that after that, I could see there was a big there's a big depletion in like the culture of playing in a band. I was only thinking like, oh, I come from that scene. I was the bottom of the food chain there. And now it's like this, and nobody exists. Or they are playing for some playback singer. Which was also like either a +1 track, a -1 track, and then they were playing on top of that, because they had to do this whole playback cinema scene. I was not interested in cinema, but if cinema came my way, I did it. But I could see that there was a big vacuum. And with Kurangan, that's what I did. So I didn't want to do it because, first of all, it's a very ego-driven environment, bands. I was part of very good bands like Blind Image and Public Issue thing, but it was still like a very ego-driven environment. I didn't want to do that because it was an ego-driven environment, and eventually Kurangan became that ego-driven environment only. But it was also like, I mean, I enjoyed making that, but the thing was, what really bothered me between then and like, so very early on, I wanted to make Tamil music, but not very contemporary Tamil music.
Not the filmy style.
Not the filmy style. I wanted how, I think Janu at that time was doing something, was doing Tamil and metal way before Kurangan. There were other people who were doing, like, but that's the same time even hip-hop, Tamila and all of those guys started coming in. But this was not what I was, that's still not like what we saw. That's not the Sly and the Family Stone for Tamil. That's not the Earth, Wind and Fire for Tamil. So what would that be? The interpretation of that would be. So with Kurangan, I could explore a lot more. I could make music. I could, because I also brought my drummer from Blind Image. And that's when I found Saib also. He just got out of Sam. So he was fantastic. And with Kurangan, we didn't gig a lot. Because that time Tamil music was even more messed up. It was a dry land. Either you had to play
film or
Carnatic influenced, that sort of wedding staccato type things, which we were not doing. So I said, okay, fine, let's figure this out. But by the end of Kurangan, obviously there was a lot of ego fights and everything, and we split. But the only thing was, the last at least 8 months there was Jallikattu protest. There was a big vacuum in the whole. See, with Kurangan we can't make a scene development. With one band or one person cannot do anything. It has to come as a collective. That's when we can change anything. And that's when I met CNR and I met Vatta Severo. All of these guys were coming up at that time. So I could bring them together to create an environment for us, for everybody to communicate. Because otherwise this whole social media thing itself is like this creative jealousy will kill each other. No? So that is also going on. And I was wondering why this, why do I not like that person? I don't even know that person. Why do I dislike them? And then I was like, okay, that's all in my head. It's all my stupid brain. I need to stop thinking that way and reach out to them and spoke to them, and they all came. There was no, it was all just like, hi, hello, that's it. Everything changed. So when we were doing that collective, what happened?
You used to organize shows and stuff.
So I created this thing called Madras Indie Collective where I introduced the idea of busking again here. Actually, that is the same time I had Paul Jacob also. So Paul played a significant influence in creating this sort of... He's been this for 20, 25 odd years for a lot of people. So he gave me this, I was also frustrated and I was posting all of this. There's also severe caste discrimination also. Because at the bottom of the... Like what I realized during that time also, how much ever you go deep down into this country, India as such, the fundamental problem of any major crisis would be caste. Which we will not address because we will only talk about like black politics we'll talk about. Here caste politics we will never open our mouth. So then I started addressing that, which through the years I've had severe awakening moments with like Periyar and like Malcolm X and Ambedkar and all. But I was trying to idolize them but not behaving like them. So I think that was the time when I was trying to behave or like practiced what they were practicing. So that's when I started posting stuff, and it was also a lot of cover bands at that time were taking over. And that was killing the original scene. And there was also a glorification of the cover bands, which was irritating. Because what I thought cover bands, I still think of that. I have not changed my opinion like about that. It's brain destructive, and it's also economy destructive. Because of course they will choose a cinema band over an original band. If you're going to sell that for a lower cost, you're going to undercut an original band and like play some Ilaiyaraaja or Rahman. Of course you're going to get the gig.
The sad part is they don't even undercut. They get paid like way more than...
That time they were undercutting.
Okay.
So they were undercutting, and now they're paying. Now they're getting charged a lot more. But that was also like what sort of a shithole of an environment we are in. No? Like I was only thinking, okay, I'm at a certain age. Like I was like 27, 28, 29. But what if I was 17 years old and doing this again? That means it's the most discouraging environment. Like then I was thinking, okay, then we need to influence people in a way that the thought becomes better and people decide to do something original and unique and all of those things. So I started attacking all of this cover bands, cover artists, everything, and they got hurt and they attacked me back, but I didn't give a
attack on social media?
Social media only, but it didn't mean anything. So and I decided, okay, let me dig deeper, and I started finding the caste discrimination and gatekeeping of these sort of environments. That's when they really you are too you're trying to play the victim card or something like that, which is like complete crap by oppressors who are being comfortable in their own seat. So I was then this was going on for a while, and of course I became very ostracized, and life also to 27 wasn't great. Kurangan was breaking up. I was going through a massive personal crisis. And while this was going on, and I think after this collective, the Madras Indie Collective was formed, and doing all of these things, that's when Ranjit called me to and that was I was the only candidate available for that job actually. They needed a politicized musician who can bring music, bring...
you mean this is
casteless character, multiple forms of music together and mentor people also. So I was the only one qualified at that time within their reach. So I did that, and see, so with Casteless Collective I could make that change. It's a bigger idea. That's when I was grinding the band. Like I was a very tough band leader, and they would all say that they would all they would really complain a lot, but they would also, but we have no choice. It's my job was not easy, and because I was in that environment, even Ranjit used to tell me, you're being too strict. But if I was not doing that, performance wouldn't increase. The type of level of performance wouldn't increase, because we're all original. Because suddenly I got my Sly and the Family Stone. If I'm going to get my Sly and the Family Stone, I better be Sly Stone. I cannot be anything below that. And I was grinding them. The performance had to be like really, really, really at top notch, no mistakes. So I used to put, like, even during jams, I used to put fines.
Oh, okay.
Like every mistake.
James Brown.
Yeah, 5 rupees a bum note.
Okay.
Like everything. Like, and we used to collect together and whatever. We used to drink and party, like whatever, after the gig. But people would lose money. And they would be like, 5 rupees, Tana. I'll pay. Some guys would have paid 3,000 rupees. For a single practice. 3,000 per single practice.
Okay.
So performance started becoming better and better.
So it actually worked?
It really worked.
Okay.
And see, like this is all like from theatre directors, which I studied from, like European methods to imbibe into our thing, because that's the only way. Because Kurangan is not even like close to performance as Caste Collective. And the headache is too much for Caste Collective. Because there was 19 people, there's more egos to deal with. There were different types of musicians, different social hierarchies to come together. There was Brahmin, like non-Brahmin, Sikh, Dalit, everybody coming together. They all have to communicate first. After the communication, the music has to communicate. Then they all have to remove that inhibitions and intimidations and work together. So what we had to make everybody get into that idea of performance, and once they started performing, that's when they realized how important it is to become a skilled, like to a point. The last show before we had a massive fight, and then we realized that was the last show. The last show we didn't practice. We did not. By then we were like 3-4 years down, performing regularly, and the last show we did not practice at all, because we could not even see eye to eye.
Okay.
And once we got on stage, everybody was mind blown, especially Ranjit. Then he was like, "Innada ivanga practice panama ivlo form la irukanga appadinte." See, you have to be really good to get into especially dealing with something as political or something like that. The music should also be good. It should also be entertaining. They should also feel connected to it. And if we don't deliver, from day one till now, I do not care what people think about what music I make. I do not serve the people at all. I only make music to make me happy. That's all it is.
Okay.
And the outcome of that is that people enjoy it or not. I do not care the positive or the negative. But my job needs to be done, which is give a great performance for our own satisfaction. So now from then till now, which I see, there's been a very big decline in performance, and very few acts are taking are getting seriously motivated to make better music and perform better and present their work better for people to, for them to have fun first of all on stage, and then people to enjoy it. And some reciprocation has to happen. So this is what, sorry, I just went off.
No, it's all good.
So this is all like my perspective on what performance has been, throughout. So
you were talking about politics. Can politics and performance be separated, or?
No, it's the same thing only. See, there's nothing difference. There's no difference at all. First of all, we are in Chennai, which is primarily a very Brahminical atmosphere for the performance spaces. They might deny it and all, which is completely untrue. Like, this is not today or yesterday or like whatever. This is thousands of years. The custodians of Carnatic music and Bharatanatyam are Isaivalalurs, not Brahmins. But still it's been appropriated and stolen and appropriated. And that's what is happening for thousands of years. And everybody has been ostracized. So now that sort of behavior has also has seeped into other cultural boards and everything. Now what happens is the aesthetics become similar to what the curators want to set. So, and once they do that, the audience capacity gets built on that particular aesthetic. And they think, okay, this is the only aesthetic available. Now to change that aesthetic, I have a big task of convincing the audience that this is also music. This is a music as well. Now, to get that into this is also a music, I need to get the curators to first accept and like curate this, some affirmative action into putting this on stage. But Chennai, India, that's not going to happen. Only the blend works, but the blend happens once in a while. Or they should feel like they are being benefactors. Right? Yeah. So, and their aesthetic should be imbibed into that particular form of music. So there are so many aspects which contribute to audience capacity development and like aesthetics of what the ecosystem is. Now, how will performance or anything become different? It'll be the same exact thing of, like multiple same type of voices. Like, there won't be any change in like even when I go for, every year I go for Margali season. But it's like, honestly, like some 3 out of 4 times only, 3 out of 4 performances I actually enjoy. Otherwise, and that too, it'll be some veena player, or it'll be some singer, or it'll be some violinist or somebody like that. It's never collectively I like anything and enjoy and come back. Now, it's also a redundant curation of the same type of people, same gurus battling with each other. Now, the only way we can change is if the existing ecosystem alters itself to bring other people in, to have a healthier environment for fostering new talent. So, all of this, what I spoke, is completely political.
Yes.
Which only reflects on performance. Now, if we don't include other types of instruments on stage, the existing instrument type also is going to be the same. Say, for example, we play bass and we have a same culture. It's a very fairly new instrument in the world. Right? Every day is a new...
Electric bass is like...
Very new.
75 years old,
That's all. It's very new. Now, only if we keep experimenting with it, we'll know that Victor Wooten video where he says a piano player what he would do, somebody else what would he do. Now there's a bass player in Kerala who uses a tabla technique on the bass.
I know that. Some Jayan Verma.
I think so. Jayan Verma. See, he's tried to make his own thing. Whether you like it or not, it's totally different. But he's attempted a new way of playing. Now that has changed way of performance itself. Now we are not giving an environment for people for growth where they can see other things, blend with other things and become better. So because of such a casteist and gate-kept environment, I feel we are still stuck. And the only thing which even now you see this whole Grammy consideration and everything.
Seems to be the grade from last year.
Exactly. But you see the music, it's all the same, like Carnatic jazz. It's just nothing more than that. Like there's but if you immediately take it to some an African conversation, there'll be Burna Boy. There'll be so many other people who would experiment with their own form and bring contemporary forms and blend it. And the whole performance is a new... It's like learning yoga from a white man. Right? So don't... Like, it's not going to work here. So what do we bring to the table? Is it just Carnatic music, or is it just Hindustani music, or is it probably Sufi? No, but how do we bring that in? To bring that in, we need to create an environment of performance for everybody. I feel that I don't know when it's going to change, but this is the situation we are in.
Okay.
So this is the problem of performance and politics here.
Can you talk to me about the dynamics of running a 19-person big band with multiple egos?
So it's 3 different groups. One is a rock band, one is the rappers, and one is the Ghana group. And there's the other, the main, Tamil journalist media has only covered the singers of the band. Which because for them, they don't think, apart from the singers, anybody else is a human being.
Culture.
Yeah, they don't think musicians are human beings. So what I try to do is I kept the percussion section as a unit by itself. I kept one in charge for that. The rock band was an in charge. So I divided them by groups. And see, the interaction could happen only outside of the environment where they had to unlearn. This is not just Brahmins unlearning. This is Dalits unlearning the environment also. So everybody had to unlearn their own inhibitions and differences working together. So,
can you give me some example how?
See, Sahib would be very quiet because he wouldn't know what to talk. But these guys wouldn't be comfortable with the Sahib because they'll think he is on light-skinned boy. He won't talk to us. He won't talk to us. It's like it's like taking for people for a show on Lady and all. They'll get freaked out when they see outside. But once you go inside, you know, the whole environment changes. So when they saw Manu, this again like one totally different character. Suddenly there's all English speakers. So band was communicating in multiple languages. There was North Madras Tamil. There was English going on side, and I had to be the only channel between everybody. So because I was the only bridge, because I grew up in their area, but I became these guys. So I could understand the dynamics between both. What I need to tell them to make them work, what I need to tell them to make it work. So the funeral musicians who used to play the percussion, they were of a different. They were not even part of Ghana. They were purely funeral. And for them, the gig is if somebody dies. There's no other gig. So now I've put a metronome there. I'm like, okay, this is called a metronome. All of us are going to come into this. So they didn't get the idea, but the metronome was in them. They just didn't know. It's just tapping that because once you naturally play rhythm for like years together, it'll obviously come out. So it's just communicating. It's then they stopped. Once they knew Sahib, the inhibition stopped from their end. So from Sahib, first it was Sir, then Mama, it became that. From Sahib also, it had to, he's coming from Sam, it's a different environment. He had to think of this music only as a world musician. Then he realized, okay, this is it was unlearning for him as well. Manu also was a lot of unlearning. For me, there was a lot of unlearning. I almost felt like till the end of Kurangan, I was a totally different person. Then after that, I became something else. Completely a different sort of animal because of the handling of these dynamics. So I think it's that inhibitions and making people comfortable. Like the stories, like simple things like who is Bob Marley for you will be different from me. So once you explain Bob Marley, as all of us have some part of Bob Marley in us, that's when they realize there's egalitarian environment.
Common thread.
There's a common thread we can follow. So and the jokes, and once we make fun of each other, that's when there's a lot of self-depreciating jokes which make it work. And because I had this very militant, like I was very militant about things, they knew once we enter the jam room, it's strict. Once we get out, we can be whoever we want to. So that gave me a lot of, obviously, like things like alcohol helped, loosen up stuff. And like finding them meeting Manu meeting them in that area, or then they realize, okay, this guy is no different from us. Because he's also a broke musician like me. So so it's that similarity. It's just one English theory and English theory. That's the difference. Then things just started sailing, and since when we started traveling, going to Kerala, Bangalore, when we started having fun, everything just like it became like second nature to work with the band. Of course, there was the only major issue I had was the singers. The musicians were very chill. 8 musicians were very, very good. The singers were a little difficult to deal with because there's too much stardom also. No? Immediately, like from within 1 or 2 shows, they became stars.
Okay.
So that was very difficult to deal with. One is coming late for practice. And obviously not able to take, feedback and all of those things. But I didn't care. I still said what I had to say because I had a very, there was things that, like, Ranjit had put things on the line for the band. So I had to make sure those things don't, flop. And if we make one mistake because of our ego or if our stardom, it is not just going to set things back, it's going to set the politics back. But these guys are like this. That sort of label is going to come in, and it was too sensitive. And the problem was, internal band conflict was much later. The external people coming into this band only was even worse. Because it's a political band, there's all this stardom as well, and Tamil media and Tamil journalists. See, music journalism doesn't exist in this country. Correct? They'll be like guitarist shimmery, like that. That's the maximum they would say. They wouldn't really understand the context of any form of music, not just what the music which I was doing. So externally, people would be like, I want to work with Artivist, I want to work with this. It became a menu card. I'm like, I'm serving a band. I'm not serving individual people. So, and they would, and because it was also Dalits in the band, there used to be that pushing and pulling around, the way they behaved with these musicians. And I was getting really triggered, and I was known to fight with a lot of people. So I defend my band. I mean, I would fight with them. It's like, I will yell at my father. You can't yell at my father. Like that. So that was the dynamics which I was dealing with.
So you've been like, you've done music for movies, you've done live shows. What do you think how are the two different, and how are they same, and which one do you enjoy more?
Honestly, I enjoy live music more, but I'm not able to do that right now because of I've just been, I think all of these years I've been working, and suddenly I've hit that existential period. But I'm starting a label now, which I'm producing music for, and now I found the purpose, what music I want to do and what boundary I want to set, so that I can do live. And plus, I'm done just dealing with Chennai and that environment itself. I want to see what is beyond this. With Caste Cultive, I could reach really far, but now I want to, even if it takes my entire life, I want to see how far it reaches. But I think I can't say which one I do enjoy performing live more, but it's been like a couple of years since I've performed live. So I've almost forgotten. So I still enjoy that. If you ask me, if there was an apocalypse and everything just got erased and everything, I would definitely play live. I mean, even if nothing, I would play live and live my life. I mean, studio is great. It's still a great creative environment. It fuels the life. It of course pays a lot more than what I get for live, but it's still live. There's nothing like playing live.
So you're talking about the financial realities, it pays and stuff. It's like really tough for anyone making it in performance industry. So do you have any like insights to share for other people, upcoming people, on the financial realities of this?
Financial realities is that I think microeconomics only really works, and musicians should really set their priorities straight. If you want to do music, you gotta be really responsible and be disciplined and have control over your money. Whether it's even 1,000 rupees or 500 rupees, you need to know how you're spending it to understand who you are. Based on that, you have to take and in one day, you cannot achieve anything. 1 year also, you can't achieve anything. But it's just this consistently trying every day. Every single day you have to try and build an environment for yourself. You don't have to because of Instagram and all of this creative jealousy and all, this sort of comparison and insecurity, you don't immediately have to be like the other person. You came to do music for your own thing. That's what I'm realizing now. I guess all of us, think much later.
Yeah. For me, it took me like till the age of 45 to realize what I should do.
Exactly. Yeah. Once you realize why you did this and what I should be doing, and that this just cutting the that noise, and that mind talking to you, it's just the chatter. You will figure out exactly what you want to do. I realized that much later in life, but I wouldn't say much later. I realized it at a very, very different point of time in my life. But that time I became zero. Finances were like back to minus and everything. But now I've built it again. But that's only it. I built it again just because of focusing on my own niche and not trying to steal others' niches and comparing my niche to another niche. If your audience is just 5 people, you have to really work with those 5 people to build it. And instead of because that 5 will expand. And if you've lost things have gone away from you, it doesn't matter. Because we are doing music for just our own enjoyment, our own fun. So we have to get some financial literacy, get your priority straight. Talk to people, and the social media, you don't have to get influenced by that. And I would say think of passive incomes. Like life should be a bucket of passive incomes. We cannot put all our eggs in one basket and expecting that to blow up. That is not going to happen. Because even like musicians who are like major rock bands are still are doing sync license work. It's to pay the bills. So most importantly, you have to, a lot of self-love is needed to keep moving forward.
It can be brutal at times.
It's kind of, it is only brutal. So I think it's just a lot of self-love and just keeping it, that F1 movie was a big lesson, you just keep driving. Nothing else.
Okay. You were talking briefly about alcohol and drugs. So what is your experience with alcohol and drugs in the performance environment, not in personal life? And on stage with bands and rehearsals, has it been positive, negative?
I wouldn't, now I'm sober, so I wouldn't say positive. It obviously helps procrastination. So, and it doesn't give you clarity, lots of brain fog and everything. But it was accessible throughout, very, very closely accessible throughout my life. Every sort of drug possible. This is not just Chennai or something, but wherever I've been, the musician environment is like that. Somebody will be smoking a joint somewhere. But it's your call what is important. Whether you want to smoke it and you want to continue doing that, that's your call. Or you want to figure out a way into building something. Because I don't think I could have done all of this if I was just doing drugs, I don't think I would have achieved all of these things. Or whatever path I have taken so far, if I was just doing drugs and drinking. Priorities only. But of course, it was there, part of my life. But
did it take you some time to learn this?
Yeah, it took me a long time to learn that. Because I think I was also environment, right? Friends and everything will influence thing. But you can't really. The thing is, if you know the situation, your situation, once you realize your situation, then you realize, do you want to buy drugs or do you want to invest that money into some mutual funds?
Okay.
So
this is spoken like an awakened person.
It's that choice only.
Yeah.
It's just It's your choice where you put that money in. It's totally up to you. If you have all the money in the world, you do whatever you want to. But I've seen a lot of people with a lot of money not do all of those things and survive through.
Yeah. Okay, one final question. We are living in the age of AI and a very digital world, Instagram reel. 30-second reel is only music, lots of people think. What is the value of human performance going to be, you think, in coming forward?
I think...
Going forward,
I think it's going to be great. Because the only way a musician is going to be legitimized is performing live. Because there's a lot of AI slop and all of those things. People will start, see, AI is going to purge a lot of jobs. But it's also going to enhance your creativity. I'm telling you, creativity and breakthrough gatekeeping. In fact, I'm doing a lecture on this. It helps you explore beyond what you cannot actually access. See, for me, it opened up a lot of like grant writing or all of those things. For me, getting funds from lots of things. I've been using AI for 3 to 4 years. I've been using it. Like every form, Gen AI to like visual to audio to Suno, everything I've used. It has reduced cost for me, but I still have like this movie which I'm working on called Kabhi Kabhi. Every song is sung by a singer, a human singer, and I've recorded like choir, everything. On top of that, I had like AI, like sampling and all of those things which I've used. Now, to break through some lyrical ideas also, it helped me. Now, it can really help you actually as a to open up things in your mind. But if you completely thrive on it, it's nothing. You can't be dependent on a person. Forget AI. You just have to, it's just regulatory, being regulatory and being disciplined of how to use AI. If there's no discipline, if you're just gonna, whatever it gives you take, you're just foolish. It's like religion. Like, it just, whatever you trust, you cannot take in. You just have to question things, right? And AI, the data also, whatever I've checked with people here and in Silicon Valley and everything, not every data which is taken, it doesn't know.
Yeah.
So, like, I've been hired to train AI platforms and everything, but it doesn't know anything. Like, Chuma, I just put like, name 5 irregular singers. It doesn't know. It put Ramesh Suresh, it gave me an answer. You should tell me that there are no singers because there are no... I know. Who is Ramesh and Suresh? Then the data which is getting trained on is also screwed up. So I feel musicianship is going to enhance. I've seen a lot of great stuff. But of course, like the song's length has reduced. But I think collectively as musicians, if we take our individual decisions to make whatever songs we want to, however long we want to, our audience will come. Now this anti-AI hate also, this AI hate will also bring a new audience. So whether it's there or not, the ecosystem is going to expand.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you, Tenma. This has been super eye-opening for me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Good luck for everything in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for listening. I really hope you enjoyed the show. There'll be new episodes every Tuesday, so don't forget to come back.